What are the industries that will not fail, but at the same time, it's much more practical to get in and build a small or a mid-sized business? Let's take a look at 5 of them. If you're ready, give this video a thumbs up and let's start with the first one. Number 1. Content creation. Since the invention of the radio, we found out that human attention is valuable. Radio is free, but they monetize your attention by displaying ads. By 1930, around 40% of US households had radios installed in their homes. That's when content creation became valuable, since there was a way to monetize it. Then the TV came out and revolutionized the entire industry. While around 9% of Americans owned a TV in the 1950s, by 1960, that figure had jumped above 80%. We all have grown up watching TV, but it wasn't easy to create content for TV to attract audience since the initial investment was really huge. However, with the creation of the internet and later smartphones, content creation was now possible for anyone. All you had to do is pull out your phone and upload the content to platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, or other social media platforms, and you could monetize it however you want. People literally make fortunes through Insta Reels, leave alone TikTok or YouTube. With the invention of 5G and smartphones getting better and cheaper, the industry will only flourish. Number 2. Marketing. Imagine you start a clothing business. You will most likely be selling pretty much the same thing that everyone else does. You're either going to be creative and come up with your own design to sell to high-end consumers, or turn into a reseller and target the mass market. Either way, you're going to have a lot of competition. So the only way you can drag more clients to your store is by presenting your product in a better and much more appealing way. That's where marketing comes into the picture. Being in sales today doesn't mean being in the store convincing people to buy more, but rather set up social media campaigns to target the right people with the right message to attract them to the store. Social media has definitely revolutionized the industry. It is never going to be the same again since we have found out the importance and the value of the data. The data that we can collect that can tell us who exactly is going to buy what. While in theory it looks like the industry is crowded, the reality is far from that. Because you really don't need much to get into this industry, a lot of people have entered the game, but very few actually know how to drive sales. It is not just about throwing money into Facebook, but turning that money into clicks that turn into sales. While it's a relatively new industry, it is not going to be irrelevant anytime soon. As long as there is capitalism, which is, to be honest, is the only system that proved to be working over the course of human history, the industry is only going to grow. Number 3. Education. The global education service market size is expected to grow from $2.8 trillion in 2021 to $3.1 trillion in 2022 at a compound annual growth rate of 10.7%. In fact, the US education market alone is expected to grow to $2.3 trillion by 2028. Internet has also reshaped the education sector, making it easier to spread the knowledge. Experts can share their knowledge through different platforms for a fraction of a price. If you had to go to college for any sort of education in the past, that is not the case anymore. Sometimes buying a course for a few $100s is far better than spending thousands of dollars in school and wasting your time, especially when it comes to practical skills such as marketing, real estate, or content creation. Number 5. Real estate. Real estate is as old as civilization itself, since there is always demand for a roof. It is definitely not an industry that you can quickly get in and build something, unless you come up with something revolutionary like Zillow. And what happened in the last 2 years is an exception, where prices first rose by 10% in 2020 and then by almost 20% the following year. Last time we had something like this, it ended with a catastrophe that took down with it the entire economy. However, even if you have purchased your property at the height of the housing bubble, your property would got back its value by early 2013, since the market recovered and began to grow. So everyone who purchased a property back in 2006 or 2007 have seen their house prices grow enormously. Real estate isn't always about flipping houses. Of course, that's always an option, even if you do not have the capital to do that. We've explained how to do that in one of our previous videos, which link I will leave in the description. Number 5. Consultant in a difficult niche. Have you ever done your taxes? It is not easy. You have a million questions, and if it wasn't for Google, you would really struggle. But sometimes even Google can help you, especially if you're a company. That's where tax consultants, for example, come into the picture. You don't want to avoid paying your taxes, but at the same time, you want to pay as less as possible. Tax consultants are paid a fortune to help companies reduce their tax bills. Some companies like Amazon avoided taxes for almost 20 years, even though the company was worth hundreds of billions of dollars. The point is, the consulting industry is only growing, but being a consultant in a crowded niche is a difficult business. It might be stable, but still, it is really competitive. That is why it is better to specialize in a niche that is in high demand, but at the same time has high barriers to entry. These are just a few industries that aren't just stable, but are growing tremendously. Of course, we could make this list way bigger, but we're going to stop here. Thanks for watching, and until next time.